Yemen remains one of the largest humanitarian crises in the world, with around 23.4 million people are in need of assistance, including almost 13 million children. The following report gives more details.
It's described as the poorest of the world's poor in an oil-plus Middle East. Yemen continues to be categorized by the United Nations as one of the 46 least developed countries, depending heavily on economic and humanitarian aid while battling for survival. The United Nations once described the deaths and destructions in the 8-year-old civil war in Yemen as the world's worst humanitarian disaster. In a virtual conference in Geneva on February 27th, aimed at generating humanitarian aid, international donors pledged about $1.2 billion, falling far short of the United Nations estimated target of $4.3 billion. Currently, 17 million people are going hungry and at risk of becoming acutely malnutritioned. The international community also needs to urgently push the warring parties toward a negotiated peace. 8 years of war have destroyed Yemen's economy, creating ripples of misery for everyone. UNICEF said last year that more than 10,000 children have been killed or maimed since the escalation of the conflict. At the pledging event, which was co-hosted by the governments of Sweden and Switzerland, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that 2022 ended with a measure of hope for the future of Yemen. He painted a grim picture of the current situation in Yemen, saying today more than 21 million people, 2 in 3 Yemeni children, women and men, need assistance and protection. He calls on all parties to the conflict to facilitate the safe, rapid and unembedded passage of humanitarian relief to all civilians in need, in line with obligations under international humanitarian law. He said humanitarians, including female Yemeni aid workers, must be able to carry out their work safely, independently, rapidly, and without hindrance or arbitrary restrictions. The struggle people endure every day is heartbreaking, and many Yemenis are likely to die unless the funds needed are donated.